We also have a proclamation tonight about the legacy of the Nutt family. I've asked Steve to present this information. There was a good chance that I was not going to be able to, because I was going to be welled up after, I still may be, the Vietnam presentation. So Steve, if you will.
Sure. Ken Hackett's the president of HGMA, and I don't see him here with us this evening. Do we have a representative from HGMA that would like to join me up here and be the recipient of the proclamation? Oh, or anybody from the Nutt family here? Chief got up. All right, well, thank you, Faye. All right, so official proclamation for the Nutt family as one of the legacy founders of Granbury. And the proclamation reads, whereas David G. Nutt and his family were some of the first settlers at Stockton Bend on the west side of the Brazos, just north of present-day Granbury. Nutt's son Jesse, Jacob, David Lee, and other descendants became civic leaders whose involvement in the growth and development of the town were instrumental in making Granbury the success that it is today. Both Jesse and Jacob were blind since young adulthood. David Lee frequently acted as their eyes. And whereas the list of the Nutt family contributions to the city of Granbury is long, David and his son Jesse and David Lee were instrumental in founding both the Baptist and Methodist churches in Granbury and Biloxi communities. Hood County and its county seat, the town of Granbury, were created and named by an act of the legislature in 1866, shortly after the end of the Civil War. The Nutt family, along with Tommy Lambert, contributed the land for the town site where Granbury was built. Jesse contributed the land for the city cemetery and Granbury College. He and the first county judge, Abel Landers, designed the Granbury Square. The first completed building on the square was a Nutt Brothers grocery store. In 1893, the Nutt brothers built the J.F. and J. Nutt building as a mercantile on the northwest corner of stay tuned, the square. In 1915, the upstairs became the Nutt House Hotel with the mercantile downstairs, and whereas the Nutt family was instrumental in organizing the first county police court, commissioner's court, in 1878, Jesse Nutt, along with several other businessmen, donated $25,000 to entice the railroad to come through Granbury. And whereas the Nutt brothers, Jesse, Jacob, and David Lee, were known for their compassion and philanthropy, especially to children. Jacob, who was never married, and his mother, Sarah Nutt, raised 7 family member children who were orphaned. David Lee became the guardian for more than 140 orphan or indigent persons. And whereas Mary Lou Watkins, the granddaughter of David Lee Nutt, returned to Granbury in the late 1960s to live in and remodeled her grandfather's home on Bridge Street. She also remodeled and became the innkeeper of the Nutt House Hotel and Restaurant. She worked with civic leaders to have the Granbury Square designed as the first town square in Texas and on the National Register of Historic Places. And whereas Joe Nutt, Mary Lou's cousin, returned to Granbury in the early 1970s and became involved in the leadership that saved and rebuilt the Opera House. And whereas one cannot look at Granbury and not be impacted by the Nutt family and descendants. Now, therefore, is with great honor that Mayor Jim Jarrett and the city of Granbury do proclaim the Nutt family as legacy founders of the city of Granbury, Texas, given under the hand of the mayor, Jim Jarrett, and the seal of the city of Granbury, Texas, on this 15th day of March 2020.